Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got a 2009 Camry here with a, what do we got, a 2.4 liter. The complaint with this car is going down the road over bumps, you can hear a kind of like a thud sound from underneath. They weren't sure if it was coming from the front or the rear. I took it for the ride. I hit some decent bumps here and there. It sounds like almost like a strut noise or a bad sway bar bushing. So I'm going to get it up in the air, see what's loose. I am going to check tie rod play, ball joint play. So check all the suspension components, but it does sound like it's coming from the rear. The first thing I did was pop the trunk, and there's a lot of stuff in the trunk that could be making this sound also. So I'm going to remove all that stuff out of the trunk, get it up in the air, check the sway bar bushings, the sway bar end links. I already bounced it up and down. It's one of the first things you want to do also. And the suspension feels really good. These struts feel like they're almost new. The car's got about 120,000 miles on it, but it's in really good shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is get it up in the air and check the ball joints. I'll check the tie rods, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so I got the car up in the air. I did check both sides already, but to check your tie rods, you want to grab with one hand on each side. Obviously, I'm holding the camera. You just want to wiggle side to side, back and forth, push and pull. If you feel any play, then you can go around the back side, have somebody do that for you while you're watching the tie rod. And you'll be looking right here between the knuckle and the tie rod to see if there's any play. If there is, you're going to want to replace that tie rod. So I did both sides. Tie rods are good. I also checked the ball joints. What you want to do is while the car's either in the air, or you could put a jack. If you don't, a lot of people don't have a lift. If you don't have a lift, you put the jack underneath the control arm. And what you want to do is you want to get the weight off the wheel to be able to check the ball joint. So you put a jack underneath this lower control arm, jack it up until the tire's just off the ground, and then you put a pry bar or anything you have, a big pipe underneath the tire, and you want to lift up on it. And if you're lifting up on it and you can feel any play, you have a bad ball joint. Same thing, you're going to want to get somebody to give you a hand, put the pipe under there as they're going up and down where you feel that play. You're going to be on this side, looking right at that ball joint right there and seeing if you can actually see the play. But I did that to both sides, and they're actually nice and tight. So what I did find is, we'll go to the back, the rear sway bar. So here's your rear sway bar bushings. Can't really see it in the video, but there's a considerable amount of play. See if I can keep this still. See that play in between there? And this is with the tires off the ground and the sway bar's not loaded up right now. So when it has a lot of weight on there and you hit a good bump, that will make a considerable amount of noise. So I bought two brand new rear sway bar bushings, so we are going to replace those. And then your sway bar is connected to end links. So these are actually greasable, which many of them are not. So I did grease these. They are nice and tight. So I'm not gonna replace these, just the bushings. So I grease the upper, grease the lower, and you follow the sway bar to that first bushing, then all the way around. It's the same thing on the other side. So there's your second sway bar bushing. And then the same thing, you have end links that connect your sway bar to your strut. And all that is a pipe that when one tire goes up and the other tire is down, it's just a big torsion bar. So this bar's really twisting and putting a load to bring that tire back down even. So it just counteracts one side from the other. So what I'm gonna do is get some penetrating fluid, because we do wanna make sure we don't ruin these inner nuts. They're welded in. So I'm gonna spray, see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I'm gonna spray those bolts right there. There's two of them, one on each side. And this is pretty straightforward. See if I get a better angle here. So you got one bolt on this side, over here. One bolt on this side, and it's just a saddle. It's a U-strap. Right there, that's a better shot. So it's just a steel U-strap. When you take that off, you'll see that the bushing itself is split, which you can see right there. take that bushing out, put the new one in, put the saddle back, tighten it up, and that should be it. All right, so as you can see, I got this side, this is the driver's side. I got the 2 bolts out. I did use some MAP gas to heat the nut up. The bolt was really seized in there, even with the penetrating fluid, and I was afraid of snapping it, because then you gotta drill that nut out, which is the worst case scenario. You're just gonna drill the nut out and put a longer bolt in. But I was able to get both bolts out. And as you can see, here's the steel saddle I was talking about. It just has a little hook, like a retainer to hold it in there. So you take that out, and then the bushing itself, it's split. So you just pull it out like that, and that's it. So that's one old bushing. So I'm gonna do this to both sides, put the new one on in the reverse process. It's pretty straightforward, and we'll get it done. One more thing, when you put the new one on, as you can see, there's a gap right there. That's what you want to see. That's very acceptable. That means when you put this strap on and you really tighten this saddle up, it's really gonna squeeze on that bar. And if your bushings are really worn out and this bar is going metal to metal, and you put the new bushing on and this is touching completely, there's a good chance your bar is actually so worn that even putting a new bushing isn't gonna solve your problem. But this is the ID, the inner diameter of this rubber bushing is always smaller than the outer diameter of this pipe, so that you're getting a good squeeze on it when you tighten it up. So something else to look forward at, something else to look at. And another thing, these bolts, I am gonna put Never-Seez on them when I put them in. It'll help taking them out, even though, I mean, we'll probably never do these again. The car will probably be junk by then, but putting them in, you don't wanna cross thread or gall up the threads as you're driving these bolts in, so it'll help just with the install anyway. So I'm gonna finish these 2 up and take it from there. All right, so I got both these bushings in, and as you can see, I'm yanking on this right now on the sway bar, and there's no play. So I'm gonna let this car down and empty out the trunk and take it for a ride, make sure there's no noise. Then I'll put everything back in the trunk. If the noise comes back, then we know it's from the trunk. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap. That solved the problem. It was the bushing. It's nice and quiet. So if you like this video, if it was helpful, think about subscribing and liking, and I'll see you in the next one.